All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Should I just say gentlemen? I know ain't no ladies watching my damn YouTube channel, but anyway, it is Dog's Day, special Tuesday edition, because I was tired as hell this past weekend. I mean, tired. There was no way I was doing a video. So a special Tuesday edition of Dog's Day here for August 12th, 2025. It's going to be a very short one. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about, honestly. So, it's funny when people say honestly, like, well, what are you playing? What are you implying? Everything you said without saying honestly wasn't honestly. It's kind of annoying, like it goes without said and then you say it anyway. But anyway, I'm going to talk about some things that happened on Raw. I'm going to talk about DDP turning heel in 2025. Vince McMahon being angry about the response that Hulk Hogan got in his last appearance in WWE, which, of course, we didn't know would be his last appearance when it happened. And a few other things. So, some of you all may have thought it would be a better idea to do this after NXT tonight, because we got like Obafemi, I think Moose, and a few others I can't think of going against Dark State, which is a killer main event. I'm interested to see who goes over in that. You can't have like Moose on NXT and then lose, and he's teaming up with Obafemi. That's already like a crazy team. That's a power team right there. So it's going to be interesting to see who goes over in that. I, of course, would watch the highlights because I don't have cable. I don't pay for cable. So I'll wait until the highlights to show me what goes down there. But I was looking at some of the things. When I'm, going through some of the things I'm going to talk about, I follow many of people on Instagram, on wrestling Instagram. And, I may see things and I'll save it in my little bookmarks folder called For Dog's Day. And I'll have things there, some things from even a previous week of wrestling. And I saw that I had the segment between Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella saved in there, and that was basically Nikki Bella kind of she got cooked in this promo. I'm like, where was the Nikki Bella at that had that promo with Liv Morgan a few weeks back? A little bit further back, probably than a few weeks. In this promo, because Becky said something along the lines of, I'm going to go home, I'm going to see my handsome, sexy husband and my baby. And, we are the biggest power couple in WWE history. And before us, it was you and, right. It would have been him, but you can't see him. And the crowd just went fucking nuts. I had that segment saved to it, and I'm going to post that as a link. And I'm definitely going to link it because what I use is I have this app called 80 or 80fy. And what I'll do is I'll go summarize my own videos, and I'll say, I'll take them and I'll link it on Perplexity, right? And I'll say, what did he mention that he would drop a link for? Because sometimes I forget. A lot of times I forget. And it'll say he mentioned this and that. And I'm like, okay, or I'll go back and add it because I already have them saved on Instagram and yada, yada, right? But anyway, I had that saved there. And it's a few things that I had saved there from this week too. But not a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. So for... because I have my notes, I have Instagram, and I have screenshots saved here on my iPhone 16. I think it's a 16 Pro. It's a terabyte. And boy, is my bill damn near the price of having 2 phones just to pay for this grand spanking new iPhone. Plus, I have the plan where when the new one comes out, you could just go ahead and get the new one. So I was eligible for an upgrade, and I got this. And then when the 17 comes out, I could get the 17. But my bill is insane. And I don't know how I'll do it sometimes with just me. But anyway, so I'm going to go over the pictures here first of the things I want to talk about. And the first things that I have here is DDP turning heel. Now, if you don't know, there was this will actually be the screenshot for the episode. So, there's a rapper called Tom MacDonald. He's from Canada. But he basically uses the platform of rap to basically be a Trump supporter and talk down about Black Lives Matter and shit like that. Think of it like if a white guy did an anime, and in the anime he portrayed, Asian people, Japanese people, if you will, in a very stereotypical manner, or talk badly about them. So that's kind of what Tom MacDonald is looked at in the Black community in rap. He's somebody that's using the platform to malign Black protesters and Black Lives Matter and spew, basically a MAGA rapper. Okay. So, given how Hulk Hogan was treated in California for being a Trump supporter, given how Trump is regarded in the Black community, given how even Undertaker, who, I don't know if it's any validity to it, but he basically spoke out against Israel for the way that they're, retaliating against Palestine, and kids are dying. Kind of redeemed himself for that after his support of Trump. He had the whole video with him and Kane endorsing Trump back when it was voting time, election time. Given how people looked at Taker for being a Trump supporter, it's kind of, weird to see DDP endorse this rapper. So, Tom MacDonald had a new song called Buttholes, and DDP promoted it. He pretty much posted it on Instagram, and he said, "My new favorite song. This guy is a genius, reminding us all to be better to one another and stop being judgmental and live your life and just focus on being happy." So, I didn't listen to the song itself because knowing the kind of reputation Tom MacDonald has, not for being a Trump supporter, but using the platform to basically diss Black folks and Black Lives Matter and the movement of it, which it does, the movement at some points does garner some criticism, deservingly so. As a Black man, I wish we protested more for some of the Black on Black violence as we do when police kill us. But this motherfucker here needs to watch his mouth about, anything Black related. I love DDP. I love what DDP has done for Scott Hall when he was alive. I love what he's done for Jake Roberts. I love what he's done for Butterbean. I love what he's done for wrestling. He's a godsend, and his support of this song, or him liking this song, does not take away me being a fan for DDP. DDP was DDP was in the first wrestling match I ever saw. Him versus Bret Hart on an episode of Raw, which is probably the same episode that was used in footage for the, intro of Malcolm in the Middle. I'm not going to stop being a DDP fan because he, endorsed this song or Tom McDonald. The same way I'm not going to stop being an Undertaker fan because he supported Trump. Or I'm going to stop being friends with somebody because they voted for Trump or anything like that. I am not one of these people that do that. I'm not going to stop befriending my friends because of their political affiliations, or if they're a man and they decide to become a girl, or if they're Christian or atheist or agnostic. I just don't do that. I judge people based on their actions, their attitudes, you know what I'm saying, the way they approach things and approach people, and the way they act to when people approach them, their behavior in public places and then outside the public, the way they respond to things, their motivations, their intentions. Those are the things I base how I align myself or treat somebody. DDP has been nothing but a godsend to the wrestling industry and humanity for his DDP yoga. He's helped a lot of people. But if you go on his page, and I don't know if he still has to post up, if he caved and said, I'm just going to take this shit down. It's not worth the amount of people coming at me for it. He turned heel because he doubled down on it. And there were people like, this is not the guy you want to endorse or support. He's pro-insurrection, January 8th or what have you. You don't want to endorse this dude. And DDP was doubling down like, you guys, I think one guy in particular, he said, you have a very angry day or something like that. You have a very bad day or something like that. Stay angry. And I'm like, well, damn, I never thought I'd see the day DDP turned heel again, post-retirement, because he hasn't been healed since late WCW. But he turned heel in 2025. I didn't have it in my bingo card. I even commented it. But me personally, I don't have a problem with DDP. I don't care for Tom McDonald because of the way he uses rap as a platform, dissing black folks and shit like that. And, that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? You're going to use a black art to diss black people. No, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, that's like a white guy taking anime and making an anime maligning Japanese people. You know what I'm saying? Or making fun of Japanese people. That it would be heavily panned and frowned upon. And that's what Tom McDonald deservingly, he gets. So nobody in the right mind fucks with him. But it is what it is. I don't hate DDP for it. He just probably made a very tone-deaf decision endorsing this guy. Maybe he didn't know the reputation that precedes Tom McDonald before he posted this. You know what I'm saying? This one song. And maybe that song isn't doing that. I didn't listen to it. But because of Tom McDonald's overall reputation, I won't listen to it. So there's that. Now, the other thing that I had a picture of that I screenshotted here that I want to talk about is regarding Naomi. So what happened, Naomi was supposed to have had a match with Stephanie Velcro. However she makes fun of her name. I thought it was going to become a thing where every time Naomi sees or mentions Stephanie McCurr, she'll say like a different name, kind of like what Chris Jericho was doing with Fandango. It would have been hilarious. She could even borrowed what Nikki Bella said, how she said her name wrong. But they were supposed to have a match, and the match got canceled before the show could even start. And rumor is that Naomi could be pregnant. All these little posts that Naomi's posting about her and Big Jim and may have some validity to it, because maybe Big Jim forgot to put a Jimmy on. That was completely spur of the moment. I did not plan that before I did this video. But maybe Big Jim forgot to put a Jimmy hat on, and he got Naomi in the family way now. And according to Brian Alvarez on the Wrestling Observer, she may be out for a very long time because of it, obviously. There's also undisclosed injury possibly too. But the match got canceled. She's been taken off of TV, which fucking sucks. Now, if she's pregnant, congratulations. It's up to her and Jimmy Uso to put that out there to confirm it when they want to. But having a kid can be a very beautiful thing. But sometimes when you have a child, it could just be like, damn. Like, you want to have a baby. You want to have a family. But fuck, why now? You know what I mean? And it's like, it's a very touchy subject. Some people are just straight up upfront with it. Like, I remember when Becky Lynch got pregnant, and Jim Cornette just straight up said, like, you couldn't have waited. Like, this is the worst fucking time. You were at the height of your career. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it gets kind of polarizing responses and hard to talk about because there are people who want to say it like, damn, you're in the best run of your career, and then, but it's your body, it's your choice, and it's just, it does kind of suck though. It's like, this is the best run of her career. She's got the belt. She was getting all the fan support. She's at the height of her fan support. Everybody's saying like, she's killing it. I'm loving her character. She is cracking me up. She is entertaining me. So for her to get pregnant now would be like a little inopportune, but it's a beautiful, it's the best reason to have a run cut short. You know what I'm saying? Is to bring a beautiful child into this planet. So if that is the reason, congratulations to her and Jimmy. I almost said James Uso, y'all. Congratulations to her and Jimmy Uso. So, yeah. Yeah. But damn, she was in the middle of her best run. I hope that in 9 months, if that is true, she still has the same amount of love or maybe more love, which more often than not, she'll get more love for it because human beings, we all human beings, right? At the end of the day, you work, you have a career for the reason of family. You want to be able to go home and share this wealth of knowledge and experience and money with a family. That's what we all do it for. You know what I mean? So I think she'll more than have, if that's the reason she's out, she'll have more than enough love coming back. And she'll be able to continue where she left off and get her belt back. But in that time, people always pick up the ball and pick up the momentum. You know what I mean? You got people that love Stephanie Vaquer right now, too. And it seems like every year, somebody's year when it comes to the female wrestlers. 2018 was Becky. 2024, I would say, was a little bit of Liv and Bayley. 2023-22 was Rhea. Can't really remember 21-20, but I remember 20 was like, it was Asuka and the Kabuki Warriors and Bayley and Sasha. They held down the whole COVID period. So it's kind of crazy how 2 years later, Sasha was like, fuck this company, I'm leaving. And she did an interview saying that they offered her a 5-year contract. She was on her last year. And she turned it down because she wasn't happy anymore. And I love Mercedes Moné. I'm still used to calling her Sasha, but I love that woman. You know what I'm saying? Mainly off the strength that she had a reputation of not being very good to fans, but she was very nice to me and cordial and happy in our pictures and didn't look me up and down. And in society, I've had a reputation of women looking me up and down off, and rolling their eyes at me. I ain't even met them. You know what I'm saying? Just being bitches to me. And here's this female wrestler that developed a reputation online for not being so good to her fans, and she was nothing but nice to me. She didn't treat me like she was too pretty to take a picture with me. And I will always be grateful for that, because she wasn't like what people maligned her for being or giving her the name of having. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always going to show love to Sasha, Mercedes, and support whatever decision she makes. I'm happy she's got like 27 belts. I'm happy she had a good match with Toni Storm. I'm happy she's happy in AEW more than she probably ever was in WWE. But I do hope that she comes back to WWE someday. Because it's just, I'm happy she's happy in AEW, but I would love it if she came back to WWE one day. I consider it home for her. But, it's something to be said about betting on yourself and adding to your catalog, because, some wrestlers became legends staying in one company. Sting did, Undertaker did, Shawn Michaels did. There were times where they may have had the temptation and the option to go to another company, and they chose to stay. And for both sides, you're going to have that. You're going to have people that are going to be AEW for life, and you're going to have people that are going to be WWE for life. And there are some people I want to see go to one company and to the other. I worry about MJF going to WWE because I'm afraid they'll neuter MJF. But there's a part of me that wants to see LA Knight in AEW because he'll be able to unleash more on the mic. And then there's also a part of me that's like, look, we thought Mick Foley couldn't become a legend if he went to WWE. He became a comedy character after he couldn't take a million more bumps off of Hell in a Cells and another 18 chair shots to the head like he did in the match with Rock. But he still became a legend through comedy. Sheep herders, better known as bushwhackers, went to WWE and became legends. Some people was like, damn, but they made them kid-friendly and licked kids' heads. These guys were having some of the bloodiest matches in hardcore wrestling history. You know what I'm saying? I think they were in Memphis doing them when they was the sheep herders. But, there are particular styles in wrestling that you have to stray away from. You can't wrestle those styles forever. You can't be hardcore forever. You know what I mean? They tell that to New Jack and Terry Funk and Abdullah the Butcher. But you can't have those matches forever if you want to have a life outside of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And Mick Foley made a decision of, I want to be able to somewhat be there for my kids when I leave this sport. And Mick Foley has a hell of a gait. He lost a lot of weight, but he still has a really messed up gait because of his injuries in wrestling. The Hardys, Matt Hardy has a gait because of the ladder matches. Daniel Bryan has had to retire again since he's come back from wrestling. So you got to change your style up a little bit. AJ Styles doesn't do spinal taps anymore. He's kind of, since he left TNA and had a more, went to New Japan, he's got a more grounded style with occasional acrobatic moves in, like the springboard 450 he still does. He every now and then still does it styling DDT. But, he's got a more grounded style. He incorporated more submission-based moves in, and he could still go there if he wants to. He just had a really good match teaming up with Penta against El Grande Americano and Dominic Mysterio. So AJ could get in his bag if he wants to. You know what I'm saying? But he's a little bit more selective about when he does, because he wants to be able to be there for his kids 20 years from now. You know? So you got to change up your style every now and then. And there are going to be people that are going to stay in AEW because they want to stay wrestling the style. Dean Ambrose went to become Jon Moxley again because he wanted to get rid of that itch. He wanted to scratch that itch and have those matches that he couldn't have with Brock at Mania that one year in AEW. So, you know, not to say that Mercedes Moné is having those types of matches there, but she wanted to accomplish a little bit more. She wanted to have championships in places she would not have been able to do in WWE. So I would like her to come back, but I'm happy if she's happy. You know what I mean? Speaking of better than yourself, Karrion Kross. You got to talk about my boy Kross. I love Kross. But I wasn't going to watch a whole hour-long video. I only listen to like hour-long videos or more from Don Tony and Jim Cornette, and that's audio. So, long story short, with Kross, everybody thinks it's work. I don't think it's work. Now, I would have agreed with it being a work if it was just him being added to the alumni page. But when you have people changing their names and putting their booking information out there, both he and Scarlett did, and people's music being removed from all streaming platforms, I don't think it's a work. I think Kross elected to not sign a new contract that was presented to him because he probably saw the writing on the walls of how he's going to continue to be treated in WWE. They were going to, the word came out that he basically said they treated him getting "We Want Kross" chants like kind of what Vince did with Rusev when they were saying Rusev Day. Ignore them. They're not cheering for you. They're mocking you. And I didn't think that would still happen in a Triple H, Ari Emanuel, Nick Khan run WWE, but it still happens. And it sucks because there was a picture going around of people that got re-signed or was given a second chance to come back to the company in 2022. They got released this year. It was Braun on there. It was Kross on there. It was Ashanti Adonis from Hit Row on there, who also got released. They weren't really doing much of anything with him. So the last person from, Hit Row left in the WWE is B-Fab. And she's with the Street Profits. But Ashanti Adonis got released. And now Kross and Scarlett got released. And my thing is this. I just don't see this being a work. I don't know why people think it's a work. I think Kross will probably end up going to TNA because everyone's saying that he won't be going to AEW because if he does, he's probably going to get released immediately after he does something to Don Callis, because Don Callis, when he was running Impact, he sexually fucked with Scarlett. There was some abuse of some sort or harassment with him and Scarlett. And Kross is going to cut that dude up. Kross will show you that Killer Kross is not just a gimmick if he goes to AEW and he gets his hand on Don Callis. So that's probably the big reason why he won't go there. And I also believe that some of these things do hold weight with some of the things that people do in that company as the reasons why people won't go there. You know what I mean? Like, I think the reason why Cedric Alexander did not go there is because of the way that they treated his wife, Big Swole. So, yeah, you got to watch the way you treat people and talk to people and mess with people's wives. People don't, people don't play about that. So, let me see here because I got clothes washing. One of my last videos I did, the alarm going off interrupted the video. I had to do a part 2 and put them together. That's probably why it sounded a little bit weird in the middle of it. But people don't play about their wives, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably the reason why we won't be seeing Kross in AEW. And not for nothing, where's another Alexander, Josh Alexander? They signed him, and I've heard nothing. I don't know what they're doing with him right now. They put Thekla in a stable with Julia Hart. So there's that. I don't even remember their name. Which I like her moveset, the whole spider lady thing. So you could be a big deal when you first sign with AEW, and then next thing you know, you're just, hey, where is this person? And they do that a lot. So I don't think he would have benefited going there, minus the beef between Scarlett and Don Callis anyway. I think Kross would have been there, and he would have been hot for a little bit and just lost in the shuffle. They would have put him in a stable or put him in Ring of Honor somewhere. So I'd rather him go to Impact or TNA, or whatever the hell their name is, TNA, or the New Japan. But I hope he doesn't leave wrestling. And maybe they bring him back, because he got advice from R-Truth. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of inspired him to... I think I got a screenshot of what Kross said. Do I not? I may not. I don't think I screenshotted what Kross said. But I love Kross. I love his work. Mainly the main thing I love about Kross and guys like him, guys like Brian Cage, guys like Shane Taylor, Faye Jackson, some of the indie wrestlers like Matt DeMorris, Dean Allmark. I love guys who don't forget where they came from, and women who don't forget where they came from. And don't forget that the fan support is what helps them get to where they go, is the fuel that, keeps their car going and gets them to where they are. They don't forget about the fan support. They don't forget about the people that came with their 8x10s, shouted them out on Instagram, sent them messages of support privately. I love people like that. The people that respond to the positivity and see those posts of support. And maybe not every comment. Maybe not every time you make a comment. But for the most part, they interact. Wrestlers who interact with their fans always win in my book. I love that. It's so grassroots. It's so fucking intimate. Even if they give you a fist or a thumbs up or something like that. Even with Sid, it's something that resonated with me and never leave me for the rest of my life, just like with Sasha or Mercedes. When Sid first got on Instagram, I said, now something along the lines of, now the master and the ruler of the world has joined Instagram and is now the master and ruler of Instagram. Something along the lines of that. And I got a fist back. And I'll never get a fist from Sid in real life. I'll never be one of those kids in the audience, because I was 6 when Sid was, in WWF back then. And I had just started watching wrestling when I was 8. So in 98, Sid was either just doing softball games, and I think he appeared in ECW around that time. So I didn't get the chance to ever see Sid in person. And 8-year-old me would have just been in awe seeing a guy that fucking huge and that muscular, looking like a real action figure and scary like that. Because he was a believable psychopath. And then, of course, he got the whole psycho gimmick. It's kind of like a jokingly way of what happened with him and Arn Anderson, right? But he gave me, the fist icon and a message. And I'll never delete that message. I'll never forget that. So, like, when fans, when people are very interactive and responsive to their fans, that sticks with me. And I fuck with that. And I like that. So Kross, being the type of guy now, he didn't lash out. He didn't say anything negative. He just was along the lines of like, hey, you got to listen to your fans. You can't just zone out and filter out a certain subsection of fans. You can't just ignore them like that. It's wrong. It's not fair. He was not bitter. He wasn't indignant about it. He wasn't, because he even said, like, I wanted to end my career there. I wanted to be a Roddy Piper. I wanted to be like some of these legends and make my name and end my career in WWE. And I hope that I come back one day. Like, he has the right attitude about it. And that shit right there, that's what makes you more fans. That's what makes more people say, I want to see this guy make it. Not being bitter about it, not burning bridges, not forgetting who had your back. You know what I'm saying? Staying humble, saying like, hey, I may come back one day. I may be the next Drew McIntyre, the next Cody, the next Daniel Bryan, the next Eddie Guerrero, somebody that may have left the company and had a run on the Indies and came back and had a Hall of Fame run, won championships. You know what I mean? Cody's going to be on the Hall of Fame one day, off the story alone, and the fan support. Drew's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Eddie's there already. We remember when Eddie got released for a short time, and he had matches with Low Key and CM Punk on the Indies and Ring of Honor and all that stuff. You know what I mean? He made CM Punk, like, he motivated CM Punk to be a better worker, a wrestler, because of that short time he had on the Indies. So you could become more inspirational through shit like this. And I hope Kross does end up back in WWE. And I hope that one day he does get to have the run he should have. Now, they fucked up and let him go after they saw he was getting a fan support. Truth got it after he got released and they brought him back. They released Kross even with him getting that support and the crowd signs and the top selling shirts and stuff, and they still released him. Truth got it after he got released and they brought him back. Kross had it in the arenas already, and they're saying that they were in Canada last night, by the way, which is why Sami Zayn got a big applause, and it sucks people throwing hate and shade at Sami, because Sami's a good dude. Sami's a real good dude, in and out of the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, why we go hate on Sami? Because it's just like when Batista got the hate because he was getting pushed over Daniel Bryan, or when fucking poor Rey Mysterio, who ain't been booed since he was in the Filthy Animals in 1999, early 2000, got booed because he wasn't Daniel Bryan that came out that one year at the Royal Rumble. I just suck sometimes when good guys, good guys in wrestling are just the scapegoat and shit. Sami's a good dude. Why we booing him? Why we saying Sami's push to the moon or forced? Sami is the Chicago Bears of pro wrestling. We not about to hate Sami because of how Kross got fucked over. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Kross wouldn't want y'all to do that. Kross is a good dude. He wouldn't want y'all to do that. Hating on Sami because he beat Kross in his last match, or maybe he should have won that. Maybe Kross should have won that match they had. You know what I mean? At SummerSlam or what have you. He should have. Like I said, Sami's the Chicago Bears of professional wrestling. He could lose and people still gonna love him. People will still want to see him win a championship. They will never give up on Sammy. He's a lovable loser. He could lose, and people still go cheer for him. He's still going to get loud ovations in Montreal. He's still going to have people want to see him win a title. He's still going to want to see people still going to want to see him win a Royal Rumble. It doesn't matter. If he gets turned on, people still go have his support and sympathize with him. But let's not hate on Sammy because of what happened with Kross. Kross wouldn't even want us to do that. So Kross is going to land on his feet because he's a good fucking dude in wrestling. He's a legitimately good dude in wrestling, dude. I'm going to buy his book in physical form, and if he puts it on Audible. I hope he puts it on Audible or Chirp or what's the other one? Everread or, what have you. I like to listen to audiobooks rather than read physical books. But Kross is the type of person that he's like San Andreas and Outwitting the Devil to me. Like, I have San Andreas in every format. Physical copy, on my phone, on Steam, you name it. I had San Andreas on every system that it came out on. Outwitting the Devil, I have physical copy, ebook, and audiobook. Kross is a good dude, man. I'm going to buy his book physically. I would like to have him do something where I could get it signed by him in person instead of just, doing a virtual signing thing where, he signs and he sends you the book signed. I would like to meet Kross one day and have it signed because he's a good fucking dude in wrestling. And I'm going to put him over every chance I get. I support the dude. And it really sucks that we didn't get a Kross figure updated with the hair. We could have got, an Elite Ultimate. And I know some people he doesn't do a lot in the ring for him. Like, he does mostly suplexes and stuff like that, but barely does any of those. But Kross was trying, man. He tried to present new finishers. He tried to have different ways to end a match. Yeah, there would be at the F5 looking move he has, or the cross hammer, or the sleeper hold, where he puts his hand over his ear. Kross was trying, guys. He had the Saito suplexes. He could have been something, but I don't know. I feel like it's somebody in that company just did not have his fucking back. And I think it may have been the same person that didn't have Baron Corbin getting to push his back. But I'm a fan. I'm not in the business. I could just say I think it's Bruce Pritchard. And I hope it wasn't Triple H. But a lot of the same shit that was going on when Vince was there is still happening under this new regime. With Triple H, Nick Khan, and Ari Emanuel. TKO. Kross is going to be all right. Let's move on. So, other things I have to talk about. A few things that happened on Raw. Punk and LA Knight had a segment. And I ain't going to tell you what they said. I'm just going to say go see it. I'll link you to it because them two on the mic is just asking for a good segment. I'm happy LA Knight is playing with the big boys now. He's feuding with Seth. He's up in there with Punk. That gives me hope that they may do something with him because he's been slighted of the Money in the Bank for 3 years in a row now. So I would love to see LA Knight continue to feud with the big boys. They announced a Fatal 4-Way match. It's going to be Seth, LA Knight, Jay, and Punk. That match is going to be a fucking banger. Now, I don't expect Seth to lose the belt this soon, but that match is going to be a banger. I'm just happy LA Knight is even in it because they could have left Longboy in the fucking mid card. But for him to even be in a match with that star power shows me that they consider him in that echelon. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a very good match. I think at what, Clash of the Champions? Not Clash of the Champions. Fuck, I don't even know what the next pay-per-view is. I can't keep up with these PLEs. Shit is one every week now. And before you know it, somebody's like, oh, the show's tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm like, show's tomorrow? I was doing my predictions. And it's already time for the fucking show? Like, I'm doing my predictions and the show already fucking happened. That's how soon these things happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just fucking nuts. But whatever the next PLE is, they're having a fatal four-way for the World Heavyweight title. So that match is going to be good. And I don't keep Peacock. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then there's this whole thing about, so people, you know, with the whole ESPN buying the, you know, I don't even know what the fuck they bought. Like, you would think I'm drunk sometimes, but it's just like, damn, we just had Netflix buy the rights to Raw. You got CW Cable airing SmackDown. I think they air NXT too. And now ESPN is gonna have a slice of the fucking pie. Let me look it up. ESPN, WWE. Okay. ESPN is going to have a $325 million per year deal. Goodness gracious. And UFC is moving to Paramount. And okay. So for the next 5 years, they're going to be making $325 million per year. Goodness gracious. Whew. And the PLEs are going to be on there. And if I'm not mistaken, ESPN, it's like $30 a month. So if you really think about it, you'll still be damn near playing for the PLEs like they were pay-per-views by like $20. Is it really worth it? I don't fucking know, because they want you to pay for Netflix, for Raw. They want you to pay for cable to watch SmackDown. And now ESPN is going to be just getting the PLEs. At what point do we say, damn, we just basically, well, all the streaming shit, we basically paying like we work for cable? I mean, the WWE Network was fucking fine. It was fucking fine. You got SmackDown episodes maybe 2 weeks after they was on TV. You would get the most recent episode. Shit, I remember when they was at Hulu, you used to get the episodes and it'd just be like a abridged episode. I don't know if they still do that with Hulu, where you get the abridged version of an episode on there. And really, after the show is over, they just post the fucking highlights anyway. And you pretty much get the gist of the show. Like the best parts of the show condensed. I'm just going to do that. I'm not about to be paying $30 a fucking month for ESPN. For PLEs. That a lot of times don't really be hitting like that. I'm not. So that's how I feel about that shit. Other than that, what else happened on Raw that I got to talk about? Well, people were tripping on the IWC because AJ got pinned by El Grande Americano. Fuck am I talking about? Kaiser. I don't know what Ludwig Kaiser is. But no, he's not El Grande Americano. Personally, I saw El Grande Americano. I thought they brought back Odyssey Jones. I think that may have been this El Grande Americano. And they're mad because El Grande, El Odyssey Jones pinned AJ Styles, and they're talking about, I'm a Cancer. I don't complain as much about booking. AJ Styles is going to be fucking fine. All right. At this stage of his career, I think AJ just wants to show that he still can fucking get in his bag if he wants to and be a contender for titles. He's had a phenomenal fucking career, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to worry about AJ Styles, guys. He took an L. He took an L against Seth for the World Heavyweight title to see who was going to be the first champion. He lost to Cody. He lost to Dominic. Don't worry. AJ is going to be okay. He's one of the best for a reason. If you go back and look at Shawn Michaels' run from 2002 to 2010, he lost a lot of fucking matches too. He's still a legend. He's still one of the best ever. It's going to be okay. All right? AJ's going to be okay. And this whole, have you guys noticed they've been doing a lot more comedy as of late? Like, they had the Braun Breaker segment where I think Heyman was holding him back from going in there and attacking LA Knight and Punk. And Braun does his own version of Steiner math. He says, you're like 47 and you're like 40. Both of y'all combined are like 100. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it justice. But obviously, 87, 47, and 80 doesn't make 100. It makes like 90. Duh. No, I'm just playing. But I love they're adding in like Scott Steiner, like meathead, musclehead, Braun, no brains, characteristics to Braun Breaker. But they're trying to be a little bit more comedic as of late. That was something that was missing when Vince left and Triple H took over. It's like, where's the funnies? You know what I'm saying? Like, Vince had funnies up in there. But they're doing a little bit more funny shit. Like, they had the stuff with AJ and Dom. They got the Grande Americano stuff where it's like basically becoming like Scream now, where it's like 100 of these motherfuckers. Like, we might get WrestleMania entrance like when we had all those Cenas that one year, just a bunch of El Grande Americanos. That shit would be crazy. And I would laugh my ass off. Because then when you guys start to see that Chad Gable is teaming with the Grande Americano and Kaiser is, you'll know that El Grande Americano was always Omos, Odyssey Jones, and Hornswoggle. Okay? It was never Chad Gable. It was never Kaiser. And it was never Pete Dunne. I wish you guys would stop accusing those guys of doing that. They wouldn't do that, guys. All right? They wouldn't do that. Trust me. What's my source? Trust me, bro. Okay? I know a guy. Now, anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Solo was on there, and they kicked him out. Solo's either getting arrested or kicked out from every fucking place he goes. Like, we just need a Solo in the club, like, getting kicked out of the club. Like, he was there, and then they kicking him out. It's like, all right, that's cool. SmackDown's better anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking be like Barrett Corbin, tell motherfuckers to go back to Ring of Honor. But other than that, now I'm going to go to Instagram and see what things I'm going to add to you guys for posts. Did you guys see the fan that took the picture with Nikki Bella from behind? He's like hugged her from behind, penis to ass. And Nikki had the biggest, brightest smile on her face. She wasn't like Becky. Like, remember when that guy did that with Becky and Becky, like, she wanted to punch the fucking dude in the mouth? Like Nia did her. No, Nikki was a champ about it. So this is what she said about, okay, well, I do feel like from now on there's going to have to be a no prom pose rule. I agree. After this photo, I think so. But I will say he had an incredible story. He asked very politely about doing a prom photo. I've done it a bunch of times. You guys, I don't feel anything. It never felt inappropriate. It didn't feel like what the photo looks like. Nikki is fucking awesome. Because she could have very well been a bitch about it, a prude about it. But the guy was obviously touched, and I don't mean touched inappropriately. I mean, like, by her being so kind to him to let her do the picture. And being, like, so open and cool about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know, as a wrestling fan, a male wrestling fan, how awkward it would have had to been to even have the heart to even ask a female wrestler for that type of picture? Imagine him with the reputation you guys say Mercedes has. Imagine him asking Mercedes Monet. You think she would have did that? I don't even know if Sasha would have did that for me if I asked her to do that. I was lucky for her to be nice to me like she was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give her props for taking that picture with the guy. You know what? Fuck it. That's going to be the picture for the thumbnail. What was it going to be originally? The picture of, I don't even remember. My memory sucks, guys. You guys should know this by now. I forget shit mid-sentence. But anyway, yeah, she's a real one for that. She's a real one for that. Because she could have been like, no, you fucking pervert. You're a wrestling fan. You're a guy. You know what I mean? You probably go to shows that the wrestler winning gets a hot dog for afterwards. You're a smelly bum. She didn't do that. She gave the guy... That's going to be the thumbnail. Because Nikki is a real one. She doesn't have to do that. And she probably has had fans ask her, can they do that? And she said no to. But she was very nice to that dude. And like I say, as a wrestling fan, when wrestlers do things for fans they shouldn't do or really don't have to do, but they do it for you anyway because they know they're making a moment for you as a wrestling fan, I fuck with shit like that. Like when you see videos like a wrestling fan or a little kid like running away from their mom, from their arms to go give a wrestler a hug, and then the security guard like, no, get back. And the wrestler's like, no, it's a little kid. Come here, buddy. I love seeing shit like that. So when the wrestlers are nice and kind and loving to the fans, it just brightens my heart. Like, I want to be a wrestler so I could do shit like that for fans. I do, because I love seeing kids happy. I think that's what life as a parent is all about. That's why it's really good to have a kid when you kind of lived your life and done a fair share of had a fair share of fun. And I don't mean getting around, but I mean like you've accomplished a lot to where you know now, like when you have a kid, it's no longer about you. It's about them now. So go have your fun. Go explore the world. Go get your degrees. Go make your money and then have a kid. Ideally, that's how we would do it, right? So when I have a kid, I'm 35 now. I'll be able to say I've had them at an age where I'm older, wiser, accomplished enough, and now I could be more devoted my time to them. Because it's all about making our kids happy. I'm sure if any of you guys are listening who have kids, you will concur that your sole purpose in life, now that you have kids, is their happiness, their protection, helping them accomplish their goals. And just seeing your kids smile and seeing them happy, it could brighten you up. It could heal you. It could make the worst day just not even seem like the worst day anymore. Just seeing your kids smile. And I one day want to have that feeling. But the way my luck is with women, and unfortunately me and my girl not being together, I fucking loved that girl. I still do. And I hope we do get back together. But right now, her health is just her priority right now. And she just don't feel like she could be there for me because of it. I just don't know if me ever having kids is something that's going to happen. So seeing my nieces and nephews and all my little happies and my friends' kids happy, And seeing videos of when these wrestlers make these kids smile is good enough for me for now. So when I see wrestlers make kids happy, when I see wrestlers care enough to make a kid happy like that, it makes me happy. And when I see wrestlers good to their fans, that makes me a fan of that wrestler. Don't care if I said their matches suck. Don't care if they did no selling in a match. I will follow a wrestler and become a fan of a wrestler if I see they're good to their fans. Because for me in life, everything is about the way you treat people, the way you treat others, irregardless of how bad life is going for you or how bad a person may have been to you. The way you treat others it holds weight to me. It means a lot to me. It's what my whole other YouTube channel is about, which I uploaded on today. And I almost caught myself Thoroughbred Underdog on there. And then on here, I almost caught myself Brilliance Manifested, which is my name on there. It makes me happy to see shit like that. So my whole channel, my Brilliance Manifested channel is all about, virtues that I live by and philosophies and models that I live by that help people be better people and treat people better. So for me, it bleeds over into wrestling when I see people are good to their fans, and that's why I want to see, Karrion Kross really succeed in his career because he's good to his fans. He responds to his fans. He cares about his fans. He loves his fans. And who wouldn't want to see a motherfucker survive and thrive and succeed and prosper like that? Who wouldn't want to see somebody like that win? A fucking sadist piece of shit wouldn't want to see somebody like that win. I want to see people like that win, not just in their careers, but in life, because you care about how you treat people and you treat people good. I love motherfuckers like that. The world needs more motherfuckers like that in wrestling and in life and in our immediate lives. So yes, I want to see Karrion Kross make it. I want to see more of what Sasha did for me, her doing it for other fans. And changing that perception of her because she was very good to me. And I want to see that fucking woman get another 57 belts. She probably got my damn belt, and that's why I was sagging in my damn McDonald's and fucking Walmart jeans the other day because I couldn't find my belt. Sasha took my fucking belt too. So, I want to see her continue to win, but I definitely want to see her back home one day. Come back to WWE, please, Sasha. Please. Come back home one day. But before you come back home, I think Charlotte and Bayley might benefit. Well, Bayley, Bayley's on the path of molding and doing something with her character right now. I'm pretty interested in seeing where it goes. Because she had a vignette or a video package on Raw talking about, damn, I didn't win a belt here. I didn't win a belt there. I've been on losing streak. Bayley's about to get a character change. There's a quantum in her career coming, a dramatic shift. So maybe hold that thought about her going to AEW. And same with Charlotte. Charlotte's actually doing very well as a babyface tag team champion with her and Alexa Bliss. And Alexa Bliss is just awesome to our fans too. Just a very sweet woman. I used to hate Alexa Bliss, but when she joined up with Bray Wyatt and I saw the type of person she was and the heart she has for animals and stuff like that, I'm like, I want to see her ass win too, because she's a good human being outside of wrestling. Beautiful human being outside of wrestling. I thought she was just another stuck-up blonde that didn't have a heart and looked down to people. But no, the way she was to her pig when he was alive and just how fan-friendly she was and sweet she was, it made me sympathize for her as a woman, as a human being. I'm like, nah, Alexa Bliss is a good fucking person too. But let me stop, because I could just talk about how much I love good people in wrestling all fucking day, like Mick Foley and fucking, I used to say so much good shit about Tommy Dreamer. I love Tommy Dreamer. He was good to me. But then he's got that one blemish on his good record about what he did to what's the chicken, when he came to chicken in the pussy in the ECW, and it's actually video footage of him doing it. I'm like, oh, Tommy, no, not you, Tommy. Like, why you gotta do that? Why you gotta hit women in the pussy with canes? I think her name was Angel Amorosa or something like that. But anyway, I like good people in wrestling. The only other things I gotta talk about that I'll link you guys to, and I suggest you guys see, is Joe Hendry basically being like the guy from the War Rack videos. If you've never heard of War Rack, it's basically, think of a white version of Lil B. Okay, so you know how Lil B is a genius because everybody thought he was really trying to be a shitty rapper, but really he was just parodying shitty rap. And it's like, oh, no, the guy really can't fucking rap. His whole thing is that he's a parody of it. And you're like, oh, okay, this is meta as fuck. That's what War Rack is. War Rack is basically, you know how we got wiggers and we got white trash rappers? They're a parody of that. So the guy always starts a video about jumping off of something. And then there's this big dude he has that will come and like does his verse, and he'll come out of nowhere. He'll come out of the freezer. He'll come off of a tree. He'll come out of a sewer. He'll come out of a mouse trap. He'll come out of a trap house. He'll come out of behind an air conditioner. He'll come out of just random spots to do his verse. Every video. And it's fucking hilarious. Well, now we got Joe Hendry doing skits like that with Ren Sinclair and Charlie Dempsey. I was about to say William Regal's son, but Charlie Dempsey. And now he's got this thing where Ren Sinclair say his name and he'll pop up out of the elevator. He'll pop up from behind a cardboard cutout of Joe Hendry. He'll pop up out of a refrigerator in one video. So that's what's going on NXT. And he actually has a match against Charlie Dempsey tonight. But I guess this is their way of slowly moving Joe Hendry to NXT. Just kind of how they slowly signed Jordan Grace. And then there's also the cute little dynamic between, I'd never want Zarya and Sol Ruka to break up as a team. It's gonna suck when they do. Like, NXT is like the place for comedic tandem tag teams. They did it with Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle. They did it with Iyo Shirai, which was her name then. It wasn't Iyo Sky then, but Iyo Sky and Zoe Starks. Which, speaking of Iyo, I almost forgot. There was a really nasty botch in a match between her and Roxanne Perez, which kind of made it look like she was bringing back the moon stomp. She was doing like her moonsault over the moonsault, and Roxanne was supposed to get her knees up, but she didn't get them all the way up, so she basically got a double knee moonsault instead, and thankfully she was okay afterwards, but that's just bringing up Iyo Sky. It was pretty nasty. But she was able to finish the match, I believe. That's the only thing I remember from the match. I don't even remember anything, who won or anything like that. I think she actually, it was a tag team match, right? Yeah, it was a tag team match because Iyo Sky accidentally hit Asuka while she was on apron, and now they're teasing dissension between Iyo Sky and the Kabuki Warriors. And if we get Iyo Sky versus Asuka, we'll be better for it because that match needs to happen. It's been teased way too many fucking times. We need it to happen. We need that. We need Julia versus Asuka at some point. We need Julia versus Iyo at some point. Just give me the three-fourths of the best Asian wrestlers in the past 15 years in matches. And even like Sari, was criticizing the way she was using WWE. She's like, I wanted to come there and wrestle, and instead they made me a fucking Japanese schoolgirl. I'm like, yeah, that kind of sucked. But it was during the Vince era, so hopefully she could come back one day, but they tried to bring her back already, I think, and it didn't pan out. So, yeah. So, you got 3/4 of the best Japanese women, 3/5 if you count AZM. But Julia was one of the best when she was in Shimmer, or Stardom, actually. Asuka was one of the best when she was over there. And Iyo was definitely one of the best when she was over there. We always liked her to a female Rey Mysterio. So just give me that. Give me that match. And if people say, well, fuck, y'all put all the Asians, the best Asians in the match, who fucking be it? They're the best fucking women's wrestlers maybe in WWE that aren't Rhea and Bianca. So what the fuck do you want us to do? You know what I'm saying? Asuka's one of the best ever in women's history, bar none. Had one of the best undefeated streaks in wrestling at one point ever. If you look up her record on Cage Match and Pro Fight DB, Iyo records speak for herself, and Julia is one of the most recent best ever. So, yeah, if they end up having a triple threat match at some point and throwing fucking Kyrie up in there, who really needs to get her shit together because she's just not been the best during this run in ring rise. She's kind of lost a step, but she'll get back her mojo, hopefully. Then so be it. Shit, why wouldn't you put the best up in there? Fuck, that's foolish business if you don't. It'd be like, well, you're going to put Bianca versus Naomi all because they're black? No, because they're the two best fucking black women's wrestlers in wrestling today other than Athena. So why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? I call that fucking genius. Shit. Nobody in the black community was saying, oh, you want to put the two haters were saying that shit. You put Sasha and Bianca up in there because they black? No, we put them up in there because it made black history and it's a fucking awesome match. So shut the fuck up with that shit, man. Whoever's saying that. But anyway, this concludes Dog's Day. If you don't like what I'm saying, hey, you may not like what I'm saying. You may hate it. You may love it. But one thing's for sure, you got to live with it. That's it.